says it's starting, and we are off. Hey guys, this is Don Varney again. Wanted to say hi to you. I had a little travel last week. I had to go, went out to Vegas, had a good time out there working and sharing a lot of good ideas with good friends of mine and just being around. I wanted to just take this time to say to you how happy I am. I just found out that I became a great grandfather of a little boy named James. So there's my personal information for you today. Just wanted you to be able to know that so that you can understand why I'm so excited about life today. But that'll do that for that. Let me ask you this. What hat are you wearing today? Now, mine is obviously a happy hat. Today I'm in a great mood. I feel good, healthy-wise. I'm happy about life. I'm happy to just know that things are going well in my life. And I want to try to see what I can do to help you do well in your life. You know, there's lots of good ideas on topics and different things like that. So I would ask, if you have a topic idea that you would like for me to research and do some talk on, be more than glad to do that for you. I have been speaking for over 30 years, consulting for over 30 years, and having been around for 71 years, there's an awful lot of things that I have knowledge of that maybe I can help you. So for today, let me give you an idea. A lot of us may be looking for jobs and looking for different things to do in our life. And there's some interview tips that I would like to share with you to give you some things to think about when you go in. You know, this is a very changing world that we're in today, and one that we never are quite sure if we're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. So what I would say to you is be aware when you're out and about that you are doing the right thing, that you are saying the right words. A perfect example would be if you go into an interview and they ask you what you like to do, you know, they're really, I hate to say it, but they're not asking what you want to do personally. They're asking what you'd like to do for the company. These are some of the little things that might make you do a better interview, things that will help you when you're getting yourself out there and getting organized. Whoa, light, hey, magic. Now I look like I'm some kind of a horror movie. Sorry about that. I'll work on this lighting and so forth as I get better at this. But as a guy that's been around doing this kind of thing, I've owned my own companies for quite a few decades now, and I've interviewed an awful lot of people and helped a lot of people. So take that one little bit of advice that I would say to you. If they ask you what you would like to do, don't tell them, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I like sports, rollerblading, blah, blah, blah. They really want to know, what would you like to do for them? What could you do to help their company? If they come out and are more direct, what hobbies do you have? Are there any sports that you play or any sports that you like? Now they're asking for the hobby. So that'll be tip one that I would offer today. The second tip that I might say to you is your handshake is going to say a tremendous amount about you when you first walk in to the interview. Don't be the muscle-bound guy that grabs the hand and tries to crush the fingers. But on the same token, don't do a limp handshake. It's what we call the dead fish handshake. You know, kind of that little light little thing, you know, oh, hi, how are you? And I'll also tell you guys, when you're shaking a lady's hand, don't be afraid to have a firm handshake. Put your hand in there, give a good, solid, firm handshake. These are professionals that you're dealing with that are interviewing you. They're not expecting you to be this little cutesy guy with a little soft handshake. In fact, it probably won't be a real asset to you in the interview. And finally, I'd like to say, do your research on the company before you get there. There's nothing worse than having them ask a question about their company and you have no idea. So do the research, find out a little bit about them, what they do, what they specialize in. Think about how you could help them, how you could be very proactive in helping their company be better. Talk about your strengths, not your weaknesses. Even if they ask, always turn that back to a positive. So that would be one thing that I would say to you. The other thing that I would consider doing if I were you in the interview process, please be on time. You want to do a true kiss of death, show up late. That'll get you nowhere fast. And try to do a couple things here. There we go. I lost you there for a second. But anyhow, show up on time. Be timely. In fact, I recommend that you be there at least 15 minutes early. Now, 15 minutes early doesn't mean sitting in the parking lot. 15 minutes early means walk in prepared. If you need to go to the restroom, etc., before you get there, either go before you get there, or when you first walk in, it's okay to ask them if they have a restroom available. It gives you a chance to go in, check yourself over, make sure your buttons are lined up properly, make sure your hair looks halfway decent, especially if it's been a windy day, and just sort of take a moment to kind of settle back and get ready, and then go back out and introduce yourself and tell them that you're there for the appointment and that you'll be sitting right over here, or where would they like for you to sit. So that's just a few tips to help get started. The other tip I might go into is a little bit more of the networking tips. Today, an awful lot of us are out trying to find jobs or to talk about our jobs to other people. And when you go to these networking events, it's almost kind of sad in a way that I feel people miss a golden opportunity to really develop a relationship. I've done videos and classes on proper networking techniques that have just been impressive to me over the years, things that I've enjoyed about networking and things that I haven't liked. And I'll give you a couple things to consider. One, yes, everybody is there to get a lead. The idea is, would you rather get 100 leads that nobody knows who you are, or would you rather get one or two where you stood, you talked to them, you learned about them, you've learned about their business, you figured out some things maybe that you could help them with. You haven't sold your company. You're not there to sell. You're there to get a good, viable lead. In other words, spend a little time developing a relationship with the person. Get to know them. Find out if there is a match. Because a lot of times you'll be talking to somebody and you absolutely realize that what your product is or what your service is has no value to them. So instead of trying to get that person to call to make an appointment, waste your time, and to go spend time with them, wasting their time, you're better off at that point asking for referrals. It's quite all right at a referral, at a networking event, to ask for a referral, especially after they've kind of gotten to know you a little bit. There's been times in my business life that I've met great clients that I've met one at a room filled with opportunities, but that one turned into a job and turned into making good money for my company. So there's a lot to be said about networking, and I strongly recommend that you do that. Network, develop a relationship. Don't worry about getting 100 cards. Try to get one or two good leads that you know you have the potential to spend time with them. The second thing that'll do when you call to make your appointment, so you can sit down and share with them your business, as well as learn more about their business, they'll actually remember you. So do that. Try to get in touch with them within 3 to 4 days tops, so that they won't forget about you. And maybe if they've attended one or two more networking events, they may well not know who you are. So be timely, be punctual on that. And then finally, let's talk a little bit about time management. And this is kind of where we'll end it up today. Time management to me is something that's so important to do. You have to block out your day. You have to block out your day every day. I'm sure that we've all been trapped with the email time waster, and that's the one where you get up in the morning, get on your computer, and spend the rest of the day come in. I recommend that you pick maybe 1, 2, or even 3 times a day to check your emails, clear them out, and kind of move on through them. I like to do mine first thing in the morning. I like to check them around lunch, sort of when I get back from lunch. And then in the evening sometime, I'll get on and do it. The reason being is I get a lot of emails, and I like to go through and just absolutely delete the ones that have no interest to me. Now, if it's someone contacting me that I know I'm not going to have an interest in, I will be kind and reply and tell them, thanks so much for being in contact with me. I truly appreciate it. But at this particular time, your service is not something I'm looking for. So get out there and find you somebody that you can help. Find somebody that you can serve to them with your product or service. There's nothing wrong with telling someone no. I know in my life, I'd rather have someone be totally honest with me and say, Don, you know, I've listened to what you had to say. I appreciate you calling me. I appreciate you following up with me. But at this time, I absolutely don't need your service. Now, we can go overcoming objections. We can do all of that. I'm talking about when it gets down to the final bit where you've done your professional trying to overcome their objection and you both realize there's just nothing there. Smartest thing you can do, not to waste their time, but also not to waste yours, is to continue talking. The best thing to do is say, you know, you're absolutely right. I think at this time you are right. So what I might ask you to do, please, is just consider me to your friends or to your coworkers or whatever. And if there's anybody out there that I might be able to help, I'd love to be able to sit and talk with them and do like I've done with you. Realize that there is help or maybe there isn't and move on. But I would like to leave you with a good feeling about having met me, Don Varney. So have a wonderful day. Take care and hang up the phone. Make good notes in your notes about these people so that you know that you have done a good attempt to sell. Don't go back trying to resell them, but rather let them know that you've developed a relationship, you ask for a referral, and then the next time you see them, always walk up to them and say, hey, it was great talking to you at the other event, meeting with you, and I'm sorry we weren't able to do business at this time, but geez, I sure do appreciate any referrals you have, and then gently move on because you know that's a time waster. That person cannot do business with you or won't do business with you. So move on. Try to find you another good lead at that networking event. Now, that doesn't mean you can't call the person up and do relationship building. Call them up and just say, hey, wanted to let you know, I didn't know if you were aware, but you know, at the Plaza Club on Thursday evening at 5:30, 6 o'clock, there's going to be a great little networking event there. There'll be some professionals in the room. And if you'd like to come, I'd be glad to have you as my guest, or just hope to see you there. There's no money, there's no entry fee. All you have to do is show up. So there's a few things that you can do to be better. Now, I hope these tips help you. I'm going to be in all different arenas. I'm going to try to do everything business-wise, personal-wise, social-wise, to help you get better, to help with things in your life. Oh, by the way, before I forget, go down below, please, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you like what I had to say today, I'd sure appreciate a like down there, but also any comments that you have. As we're starting this channel and getting out, I want to make sure that I'm not wasting your time, but also want to make sure I'm not wasting mine, because if the information I'm giving has no value, that doesn't mean that you're not a good person or I'm not. It just means to you personally, you don't need to be here. So if you like what I'm doing, please like it. If you have a positive, negative statement, try that one on for size. Please leave it. If there's something I've done that you just don't like or whatever, please put it down in the comments. I'd sure appreciate knowing what I can do to make it better. Secondly, I will let you know, technical-wise, I'm buying the different equipment that I need to make this better. I'm purchasing lighting, I'm purchasing a better microphone, and so forth, so that the picture quality and the sound quality will be even better. It's all a learning process, trying to make sure that I'm not wasting my time or my money building this YouTube channel. And I'm thrilled to know that we've had over 14,000 people view at this point. So please go down to the bottom, subscribe to this channel. You never know what you might find out. Might be something good out there that you need to know about. So you guys have a wonderful day. You take care and figure out what hat you're wearing today. Take care.